It is time once again for the weekly closes on our favorite Bitcoin miners. But before we get going, check out the channel memberships. We got 3 different levels. The first 2 levels, you'll get some badges, you'll get some emojis, you'll get some shout outs. At the highest level, stalagmite, you will also get real-time trade posts. Whenever I make a move, I will post it there first. All right, that's what you got there. And then also check out Capital Curiosities. They do a lot of great videos about financial fraud and fraudsters. Lots of real interesting stories there. I've been thoroughly enjoying all the episodes they come out with. And starting tomorrow, we've got a new one, Mission Impossible, how a shamed CEO escaped Japanese prison in a box. That's going to be a very interesting story there. And if you find yourself watching a Capital Curiosities video after a Trade K video, go ahead and comment TC on that video for me. That would be greatly appreciated. Now let's move right into CleanSpark and its weekly close. This is looking really, really good. I'm liking this, seeing this. First of all, look at these, stacking. We're stacking candles. Look, we're stacking candles. Next week we stack another candle. That would be beautiful. If we stack that candle, I bet you we could go as high as possibly even $15.50, maybe even like graze $16 if we could stack another candle. A couple of things that are really interesting here that's going on. All right, on the weekly. All right, this is the weekly. We are above the 200-week moving average. All right, that's looking really good. The 50-week is starting to tick up, so we will get at some moment here pretty soon a golden cross on the 50, on the weekly chart here, which the last time that happened was back here in all of this chop. So it's not necessarily the best thing to get the golden cross, but it is it's something to look at. All right, anyways, we got the 21, the 13, and the 5 all pointing up. That's all good. Basically, right now, if we get any lower than 969, which is where the lowest EMA is right now on the 21, if we get anywhere beneath that, that is bad. That's going to be real bad. All right, so we do not want that. But there are a couple of things that are pretty great here. First of all, we are in this pocket, this big old volume pocket that goes all the way up to 1580, 1583. That volume pocket right here, this big old empty space in the volume, we can fill that, and we can fill that quite quickly if we get the chance here. So that's what we're looking at next week. We're looking for that move. We are above this trend line. This trend line that goes from the peak of the highest move in this cycle for CleanSpark up at $25 on the way down. We are breaking that. Now, when we break these things, don't be surprised to see a return to testing it out, right? So like come over, test it, and then go. Don't be surprised if we don't stack another candle this week. Like if we were to come back and test this, or early in the week, come back and test it somewhere around like $11 and then launch from there later in the week. Don't be surprised if that happens. I'm not going to let that scare me or shake me out in any way. I'll watch for that. Right now we are, okay, so we bounced off of this trend line, right? We bounced off of this big mega trend line, and we crossed above this other big mega trend line. All right, we did all that. Now, what am I looking for this week? One, I'm watching this big old volume, this empty volume that we can move up to 1580. I'm looking at that as an area of resistance. I am also watching this inverted head and shoulders. Okay, we've been talking about this for a while, but we got this inverted head and shoulders right now that we're breaking out from, and again, the peak on that is about $16, right? High 15s, low 16s. That's the high for that inverted head and shoulders, where we would then need to see a new bullish structure to send us even higher. Okay, so watching that. The BX trender is looking good. The OB vol is looking good. The RSI is looking good. All those things are pointing towards greater upside right now at this time. So we are staying long. We're staying strong on this one here. Let's take a look. Let's just peek at the monthly. The monthly so far, I mean, I know we're only a couple days in, but so far the BX trender is still looking like it might want, if we go a little higher, we might get a green one, the first green one in a while. And last time we went from red to green on the monthly, on the BX, we went from $4.25 all the way to $25 before peaking out. So keep that in mind as we go forward here. All right. Anyways, that is CleanSpark. It's looking really good. It's looking good. All right, let's move on. Real quick peek at the warrants. We'll turn off some drawings here because that's way too many drawings. So the warrants have been getting interesting. This cup and handle is looking like it wants to play out. We did close slightly above where the brim was because the brim started over here. slightly above that, so that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. We could see this continue to slowly drive up. I'd like to see it explode upward. Like if we get a touch of $18, I want to see this thing back up at 163 or higher, because that's what happened here, right? CleanSpark hit $18 and this hit 163. I'd like to see something like that happen. That would be insane, especially with the amount that I'm carrying right now. Let's take a look. Yeah, that would be a 244% move right now. That'd be pretty cool. Let's see. Iren. For the weekly, Iren. We took out this high and we closed above it. We closed solidly above that high at 1682. This thing went as high as 1858, which is what I was expecting back here. So we came out of this falling wedge. Boom, that worked beautifully. I didn't catch all that upside, but I got a good amount of it with some call options early on, around up to like $10 or $11, and then I missed the rest of this, so that's okay. It can't always be perfect. Can't always catch it. We're on the third angle for this, right? So we have one angle here, two angles there. Let me turn off my effects right now. There we go. First angle down here, the dotted line, dash line is second angle, then another dotted line for the third angle. And in fact, we can go even higher on this thing like that. When we lose this third angle, we're going to hit the second angle. That'll fight a little, and then we'll hit the third angle. And if we lose the third angle, that's kind of it for the run for now. Okay, so pay attention to all that stuff. This is looking pretty good. This is a bit of a blow-off top candle right here, so be wary of it. This candle right here that we're looking at on June 30th looks exactly like this candle we saw back here in June 2024. So if next week we get an inverted hammer, we'll probably come down, maybe make a double top, and then finally see the dippiest dip through September, which will probably take us somewhere back down to about 982, maybe even 855, or if we're really unlucky, all the way back down to $5 sometime in September. Okay, so summer run in full effect. We are looking very carefully. We are looking for a candle that is an inverted hammer here next week. That will indicate we could come down, and if we close, if we get a couple of days that close above the body of that inverted hammer on like a 1 or 2 day candle, then we can say that we're probably going to come up for a double top somewhere around 18, maybe even 20. Might tap 20, and then around there, that's where I'd be looking for a rollover. Now, if we lose angle 2, right? So let's draw this out real quick. We're going to draw it out real quick. Okay, let me turn on my magnet and let me do the ray. Okay, got it. All right, so we had angle 1. How come the magnet didn't work? Oh, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Haha. Angle 1, angle 2, and then angle 3 on this one. The angle 3 wasn't as good. Okay. But basically, all right. Stab. All right. Basically, we broke angle 3, right? Let me see. Let me get that angle a little bit tighter, right? Because it was like up to here. It's really hard on the weekly. It likes to snap. All right, that's whatever. It's close enough. Anyways, we broke angle 3. We came down, touched angle 2, and then we went higher. And then we broke angle 2 and came all the way down to angle 3 and went a little lower. So you notice that the last time here where we had the exact same candle pattern. So that's what we're looking at right now. All right, I'm watching this angle 3. It's going to break. The double top will probably touch angle 2, which would be a deep cut. And then when it comes back up, that would be the last swing before coming back down to angle 3. So we're going to watch that very carefully on Iren. Let's do the technicals real quick for the indicators. Look at that volume, that weekly volume, 2 weeks in a row. Sick volume. That's insane. Huge moves up there. The BX trend looks good. The RSI is overbought. Okay, the RSI is overbought. All right, it's overbought. That's not great. So watch that carefully on the weekly. How high have we gotten on the weekly before on Iren? We've gotten up to 80. So we're at 73 right now, so we could go a little bit higher. The OB vol is looking great. The BX trend is looking great. It's all looking like it wants to do another week up. We'll have to see. I am thinking we might come back up to 18, maybe 19 here and do an inverted hammer and then come down from there. But it could just drive higher and higher, especially if they get some sort of AI HPC news coming out next week. That would do it. Mara. How's Mara doing? Mara's looking a lot like CleanSpark in bringing in that really, it's an ugly one. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's an ugly one, but we do have an inverted head and shoulders here that would top out around $30. Okay, but a few key differences. One, all right, get that out of here. We had this falling wedge. We broke that falling wedge. If this is anything like the Iren falling wedge, yeah, we're coming back to the top. All right. So you see that white line? That's marking the falling wedge. All right, cool. Let me get rid of, yeah, that's easier. Okay. All right. We lost this channel here. This channel's done. It did its work with that channel there, turned into this channel, which is now turning into a new one up. All right. That's all that matters there. We're getting out of this channel down here. This one down here, that's part of that falling wedge. We're finally breaking out of that channel, and we're headed for this one up here. We will likely struggle around $22. Notice, I mean, we're going to struggle around $20. I've had this line, this $20 line on here for like the last 2 years. And it constantly comes back to this line. It's going to come back to that line again right now, probably struggle a little bit, and then struggle a little bit again at 22, maybe 25. And then we'll hit this yellow line, and we'll see if it's going to slice through or struggle there as well. But I am looking for a move up to about $30, maybe even as high as like 37 on a spike. All right. Difference though. Okay. Difference between clean spark. Notice how this volume, we still have a mountain of volume to get over. We have to cross $20 to get into this void here. And that void would take us up to 25, right? Where we have another peak in the volume that we need to get over. We need to get over 25 to do that. And that's going to be this descending line right here. This one that I'm drawing in blue right now. That descending trend line there. Once we're above that, we might hit 30, retest it. So like we might come up, struggle, go up, retest, and then bam. And then try to go for the top of this channel up here. Okay, that's what I'm looking at right now for Mara. Let me get rid of some of these drawings. All right. How long ago did I put that dot there? All right, let me get rid of that dot. It's bothering me. There it is. All right. So not too bad. RSI is in a good place. It's at 55. The BX trender is getting bigger and bigger. That's beautiful. The OB vol is looking fantastic. Let's peek at the monthly real quick. See how that is. All right. So yeah, this is inching its way towards green on the BX trender for the monthly chart for Mara. Last time we flipped from red to green. We hit a high, came back down to do a retest of the channel, but it quickly flipped back green again from there, right? We had 3 weeks of badness. Badness. But that was October. That's to be expected. We might see that this year too. And then it flipped green again. And as soon as it flipped green again, right, we went from 12 all the way up to 34. So we could see something like that occur again here on Mara. That'd be very exciting. All right. I'm not going to the daily. I'm not trying to get that granular on the weekend. All right. Anywho, that's what we're seeing. All right. Right now, we are still on angle 1 for Mara. We're not even on angle 2 yet. We're on angle 1 still. So we can have 2 more angles that get steeper and steeper as we come out of this falling wedge for Mara. Okay, pay attention to that. This bull flag right here, this one, that bull flag right there, that could take us as high as 25. Notice how that matches up perfectly with the volume profile on the right there. Technicals work. Anyways, yeah, we'll probably hit that. And in fact, I can put a line there, and I bet you it'll tap it to the penny. And it might fall. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we'll lock it down. I'll make it orange. Let's see if it taps it. All right. Maybe not this week, maybe not next week, but at some point in the next month, I'm expecting it to tap this, and then we'll see what happens from there. But I'm expecting it to tap it. All right. Anyways, that is Mara. We're on angle 1. We're not even on angle 2 yet. And we are in a channel. Let me draw that channel for you. Where are my tools? There they are. Let me draw that channel for you. We are in this channel right here. That's where we're at right now. And we're going to kind of bounce around on that until we break out to the upside. And that's going to be a very exciting time when we do that. Right. Let's take a look at quick the EMAs. Let me turn on my drawings. Turn on my EMAs. Okay. We're above all of them. We're above all the EMAs. That's good. They're all bunched up right beneath us. So basically, if we go any lower than 1537, we're in serious trouble for Mara. Any lower, basically any lower than the bottom of the last week's candle, any lower than that at all. And we are in some serious trouble. Okay, pay attention to that. We're currently above all the EMAs. We want to see these EMAs go higher and higher and higher right now. We want to see them cross above that 200 and then just drag it up from there. I mean, the last golden cross sucked. We got that golden cross and then boom, just fell everywhere. But look at what happened in the time before that. This is in 2021 when we got the golden cross in March, right? Got the golden cross, went a bit higher, came back down, and then even higher later. That was pretty cool. We're looking not quite like that this time, so we'll see. I'd really like to see this time. I'm not really expecting to get much higher than maybe a 45 on like a really insane push, but we'll watch the ISM to know if we're peaking out or not. So that's what we're doing there. Let's take a look at Riot. Riot for the weekly. all the EMAs are pointing straight up, right? And the 200, we're above the 200 week, just like on so many others. We are above the hump on the volume, right? We're above the hump on the volume right here. You see this? This is the volume hump right there. We're above it solidly. So Riot could honestly charge up to 1581 without much trouble. It could. It could. Do I think it will? I don't know, because it's been respecting this channel, this huge channel that I have drawn on here. And here, let me get rid of some of these drawings. Like that channel's done. This channel, I mean, we're still in it, but like we don't really need to look at it. This trend line here is fine. In fact, I should probably draw this channel a little differently because it's looking, I'll leave it. Anyways, we're in it. We're in, see this trend line from here? We've been respecting that since July 2023. We've been respecting that line at the top there, that gross blue one that I drew that's like not so great. Turquoise, whatever you want to call it, whatever, sea foam. So we could hit this at $13 and roll over and go back to angle 2 or angle 1. Sorry, that's just angle 1. Go back to angle 1 and then bounce there, perhaps right now. Or if we slice right through this, we're going to this candle right here. We're going right here. We're going to 1587. And you know what? I will draw a line there, and I bet you we'll touch it. If we can get above this line, we will come up here, tap it, and we'll see what happens from there. But Riot, yeah, I am holding a little bit of Riot right now. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. Holding a little bit of Riot. I'll tell you all the things I'm picking up right now. I currently don't have Mara yet. I'm looking at it. I have let go of all my Iren. I should have held on to it, but you know, I made it my 100% and I let it go. Yeah. Technicals look good. RSI is at 63 on the weekly. BX Trenders pointing is getting bigger and bigger and bigger to the upside. The OB vol looks great. Let's speak of the monthly real quick. See how July is forming. Last week we got a green on the monthly, and we got an even bigger green in July. Look at that. We're just 4 days in, and we got a huge green bar on the monthly BX Trender for Riot. I do think Riot potentially could see a big move, especially since if we're looking at this structure right here, that looks like a big, disgusting flag. That could break huge if it does. All right. That's pretty exciting. Last time we went green on the monthly, it really fizzled out quick. So do be vigilant on that, because this could fizzle quick. It's done it before. Like it's gone green, one big move, and then fizzled real fast. And that's something we got to be aware of in this industry. Things, they go up huge, and then everyone gets excited, and they want to think, oh, it's going to go more, and then it fizzles like in days or hours. So don't get caught doing that. If you see a toppy candle, recognize it as a top, let it go. Okay. If you see a huge wick on top, you missed that top. Let it go. It's not going back there. It's not going back. Let it go. Of course, nothing I say is financial advice and not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. Do your own research. Come to your own conclusions. Be responsible for your own risk. We're all our own players here. All right. Btdigital. I did add Btdigital. Last week I added more. So I bought at $2. Because I said the risk was down to 171-ish, right? 170, 171 was the risk down, so 30 cents down, but the potential up was $4 or potentially even $6 or $7 on this thing, especially if Ethereum gets a nice move up, which it is due for, okay? Look at that volume this week. That is insane. We haven't seen a volume spike like that on here. On Btdigital, we have not seen volume that even matched that since 2021, August 2021, summer 2021. The last bull run was the last time we saw volume like that on Btdigital. And where did that drive us? Let's have a look-see here. So, oh, hey, doesn't this look really familiar? Long, drawn-out drop and then huge candles coming through for 3 weeks before we get sold off. So we might have one more, maybe 2 more weeks of this, but like this looks very familiar, right? Big drawn out sell off, big volume, big candle. We might see 2 more of those, and we might hit $4. We might hit $5. We'll see, and then we'll sell off. But yeah, that's what we got last time. And then let's see, it didn't take out the highs from before on it when it did that last time. We could be seeing something like this where we just get one candle and then one more where it gives like a big disgusting wick. If I see a big disgusting wick next week, I'll let go of my Btdigital. I'm telling you that right now. If I see a big gross wick like this one here from December 2023, that huge wick that was how much percent of this thing? 18%. Or let's see this one right here, which was 13% in November. If I see a wick like that, I'm letting go. I'm just gonna let it go, and that's it. I'm done with it for now. But we had a falling wedge. We're breaking out of it. We could come up to $4. We could come up to as high as $5.50 or even $6. So I'm watching that very carefully. We are in a volume pocket right now. We are not above the 200-week moving average at 344. That could present an area of struggle. But we are above the other EMAs. If this thing comes back beneath $2.50, I will let it go. If it has a huge wick on top, I will let it go. If it hits $6 and doesn't just drive higher from there, I will let it go. So pay attention to those things, all right? Currently, RSI is looking good. BX Trender is looking great. OB Vol is looking great. All things point towards this potentially going higher right now on the technical side. All right, let's go take a look at Cifr. How's Cifr going? Cifr last week was up 42%. That is insane. It is now at the edge of getting back inside of this channel here. Let me just fix that. There we go. That's pretty good. Yeah, there it is. All right. Very close to being back inside of the channel here to the upside. This also had a falling wedge that it broke out of to a insane degree. Look at that volume. When was the last time we had volume like that? We have never had volume like that on Cifr. The last 2 weeks are the biggest volume we have ever seen on Cifr by a long shot. All right. Huge volume coming through. Pay attention. That's buying. That's institutional buying right there. So we might see another week of this. Just like with Btdr, if you see a wick like back here on July 2024, if you see a wick like that, that's it. That's your signal that it is done. A wick like this here, December 16th, 2024, that huge wick, you see a wick like that, it is done. Okay? Be aware of those things. We're getting frothy. We're getting frothy right now. We could drive higher. We could. We absolutely could drive higher, and the technicals look like it wants to drive higher. We got better on the BX. We got the RSI not even in overbought territory yet. The OB Vol is driving higher. All those things are happening. But we are frothy. Okay? If you see a big wick, you're done. That's it. That's it. It's not going to go any higher if you get it. Now let's take a look here. So we're somewhere around here, right? Yeah, that big wick like that. Yeah. So we might see something like another. We could see something that where we go up like another 8%, right? And then we're done. We could see something where we go up, I don't know, another like 20%, and then we're done. Pay attention. Watch for those toppy signals. Don't get caught. Don't hold bags. We don't hold bags, all right? We're not married to these things. They're just stocks. You make your money, you move on. Don't get caught holding a bag this time around, all right? Don't do it. I'm going to delete this one because it's kind of just in my way. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. There's nothing on the volume above us. We could go as high as this thing wants to go. If they get some wicked contract or something, that'd be cool. We're only on angle 2, by the way. We're only on angle 2. We're not even on angle 3 yet. So if we come here, like we had angle 1, this is angle 2. Angle 3 is basically just this candle all by itself. It's angle 3. So if we lose angle 2, we're going to come all the way back down somewhere around to the 200-week moving average there on Cifr. So pay attention to it. See about the warrants. Look at these warrants. That was a 144% candle last week. 144% candle. Look at that, right up to 148. What did I say about that? Oof, I said that was going to happen. It did. A little faster than I expected. I should have held on to my warrants. I was buying down here like 34 cents. I ended up selling at like 70 cents. Should have held. Oh well. So what can you do? Came up into this resistance over here on the left. This bunch of candles right there, and then it's going to sell off a little bit. And if Cifr continues to drive higher, yeah, we could see it come up, tap $2, maybe even 3, and do another 100%. But I don't see it doing a whole lot more than that right now. Okay, so pretty cool, pretty cool. Corz, how's Corz doing? Oh wait, hey, click. There we go. Corz. So last week we're up 8% after a week before being 40% off of news of CoreWeave wanting to purchase them. All right, so let me fix this because this one doesn't really represent how that trend line moved now. So this is angle 1, which is basically like most angle 2s, and then we've got angle 2 there, which is insane. It's straight up. I'm not even going to think that there's an angle 3. If there's an angle 3, I don't even want to see what that looks like. Look at this volume, though, that came through last week. Insane. This week was below average, so that's why we got that much smaller candle come through, but it did still stack. The RSI barely overbought. OB Vol looks good. BX Trender looking fantastic. This thing could continue to drive. I'm thinking we're going to come up. We're going to hit the highs again here, and then we might struggle there. And we'll see what happens at those highs. But right now, there's a lot more risk to the downside. Like right now, basically, this thing could fall all the way to $13 because there's nothing to hold it up. Or it could go higher because there's nothing really to hold it back other than this all-time high right here. at 1870. We get above 1870, it's price exploration zone from there. But remember, does this structure right here, does this look very familiar to this right here? We had our lead-in phase, right? Our lead-in, our blow off top, our pause, and then our drop, okay? What happened over here? We had our lead-in phase, right? Our lead-in phase, our pop, our pause could be coming now, and then our drop. So pay attention to that on Corz. Don't get caught. Look for the signs. Corz doesn't do those big blow off top candles like some of these other ones do. It just tends to do like a flat pause and then just start dropping dramatically, okay? Notice this wasn't even that much of a blow off top candle. What was that, like 4%, 5%? That was 12%. Oh, all right. Well, that is a blow off top. But same exact pattern as back here too, right? This is the exact same pattern right here. We have our lead-in phase right here, our blow off top, our pause, and then a big drop, followed by a lead-in phase, pop, pause, drop. So that's how Corz likes to operate. We currently just got the blow off top. We got not the blow off, but we got the pop. Now we get the pause and then possibly the drop. So pay attention for that on Corz. That's what I'm looking at. I don't think that the reward is worth the risk right now on Corz, in my personal opinion, but you do what you want. Hive. I have some call options on Hive. I bought some Hive last week. Okay. We had this falling wedge right here, falling wedge, right? And then that went up and then gave us a bull flag, which also presented its own little falling wedge. And we broke out of that as well with some volume. Look at that volume. That is beautiful. That's huge volume. We stopped at the 50-week moving average. We still got to get above that. I do think this will eventually hit the 200-week moving average up at 399. We're currently at 231, but that is what I'm watching for right now. Look at this volume. We have never had volume this big on Hive ever. This is the biggest volume we've ever seen on Hive. The last time we saw even remotely close big volume was December 2023, and that did mark the top. So we do need to be a little weary. Watch this 50-week moving average. If it can't take it out next week or two, then I would be concerned. Let's take a look at 2021. Where does this see? Around the same time, around June, we didn't get volume nearly like that, but we were in a bottoming period here around then. We got that big candle. It came back, gave it all back, and then went to the highs from there, creating this big ugly double top. So we could see something like that. And I am prepared to deal with that if it happens. Like, I'd expect it to come about 159 and then launch from there if it were to do it. But if we take out the 50-week moving average, I think, yeah, we're going to drive up to about at least 316, and then we get into the next volume pocket. But we're currently in a volume pocket right now, an empty void right there, which takes us above the 50-week moving average. And then we got, if we can get above 315, we got another pocket that'll take us to the 200-week moving average at 399. So we're watching that very, very carefully. That'll be the hump that we got to get over. Okay. That's Hive. Hive, RSI, BX Trender, OB Vol, all looks good. Let's take a look at Hut. Again, RSI, OB Vol, BX Trender, all look good on Hut. Hut did this lead in, and now it's doing its takeoff. We could get 1 or 2 more weeks of it doing this, taking us up to about 27, maybe $28. We are in a volume pocket right now. Look at this big old pocket. Beneath this, and not even that big of a volume spike above here at $25 to hold us back. We could be seeing this thing go all the way back to all-time highs. We're coming off a cup and handle, which is right here, which I've drawn out before, but cup and handle, boom. And that cup and handle would, if it does the full move, it would take us up to about $29 on that cup and handle. So pay attention to that. This week's looking good. The RSI is not overbought. Sorry, it's not overbought. The BX trend is still pointing up. The OB vol is looking good. The volume isn't as good, though. The volume's been dropping off. So we would need to see a volume bar that exceeds last week's volume bar and the week before. Preferably, we'd see a volume bar like back here that went way higher than anything else around it. So the volume is pretty average for Hut right now. But if you notice, even while volume is dropping here on several occasions, volume has been dropping while Hut has been driving higher in price. Okay, so watch for that. I do think Hut will likely come at least to $27.88, maybe even up to $30 in the coming days or weeks, okay, before it tops out for the summer and then has a dip into September, October timeframe. Wulf, very much like Hut. In fact, it looks exactly like Hut. Got a cup and handle. We got driving up. We got volume falling a little bit. We are over the hump on the volume here on the right, the volume profile, and we could easily find this thing come up to about 650. And if it can conquer 650 and slice right through it, I'd be watching it to go all the way up to 869 on Wulf for now. And that's all I gotta say about Wulf. What about Btdr? Btdr has been weird. It's been weird. Like, it's been underperforming its peers. It too is now coming out of this little channel right here. It's coming out of this channel right there. That's that it's trying to break out of right now. There is a huge volume gap that we are currently just entering that goes all the way up. I mean, our first resistance point is at 1846, but it could go as high as $19 before it hits a block, a solid block of resistance all the way up to about $22. I think that's probably where we will fail for the summer. But if we get the entire move of this bull flag, which it's pretty intense, but if we get that entire move of this cup and handle slash flag, we could see it go up to 22 potentially, but I would be weary around $20 on this one. Okay, I would probably sell around $20, maybe even 1830, because that's where it really starts hitting that top, that spike on the volume. So this had a big falling wedge, right? Big falling wedge. This one can go away. That's unnecessary. Big falling wedge. We came out of it. We created a flag. We're breaking out of that flag right now. This could move up from right now. We could move about $4 on this thing, and you can see that the BX trend is still not looking great yet, but looking better. Okay, it's not looking great, but it's looking better. The RSI is at 50, so a lot of room to the upside there, and the OB vol just flipped green last week. So if this coming week we could see this thing drive all the way up to 1850 and see the BX trend turn green again here for the weekly, but this one does also. Btdr also looks like it's ready to go up. We'll do a real quick look at Bitf, Bitfarms, because it did something interesting this week. It got back up to $1. It closed the week out at $1.02. It hit the 21-week moving average to the penny and fell. Okay. It looks like it wants to do this double bottom. It wants to do this double bottom. I had this alert here. It went off when it was at 89 cents. I didn't buy it because I'm not super interested in Bitfarms right now. I'm doing a lot of other stuff. So Bitfarms is not one I'm looking at buying, but I am watching it for the benefit of the crew because I know that some of you are in this one. So we're looking at potentially a double bottom right here, right? Double bottom, and that double bottom could take us up to about $1.71. It very well could do that. It will hit this volume spike right here at that 171 where we may fail, but if it can get over 171, it can move all the way up to about $2. Which would be a pretty sweet gain from where we are right now. That would be a 100% move from where we are right now. So we could get a 70% move or a 100% move from where we are right now, which is still significant, but I don't see it doing a whole heck of a lot more than that right now because they diluted so hard. They've got like something like 600 million shares out there now, so I really don't see this one. It needs $600 million of market cap just to get, just to be at $1. We're looking at 1.2 billion just to get to $2 now. So 1.8 to get to $3 and 2.4 billion to get up to $3. So I don't know if it's going to go back up to like that, even much above $2 anytime soon right now. All right. So that they might have ruined their whole their whole thesis. This cycle has been ruined for me by that just insane dilution that they had to do to get Riot off their back. That attack from Riot really ruined them. So I don't see it going much higher than $2, but this double bottom is very promising. So I'm watching that as well. So Luna, the zero or hero is still very much a zero. I was getting in here. I bought like 100 shares at $282.81 between there and $3. So I spent about $300 on 100 shares of this thing, and it just dropped down to 40 cents. What a piece of garbage. That doesn't mean that it can't go from here all the way back up to $3, right? Like it could. And that would be a 300% move, right? So that could happen. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. But it might, because like look at this. Okay, look at this. BMNR, I think it was, right? R. Yeah, Bitmine Immersion Technologies. Look at this thing. Boom. It was down, just being beaten down, held all the way down at like $4, right? $4.04. And it went up to, they did a reverse split. Yeah, they did a reverse split. Anyways, all the way up to $135 in like 2 days. 3,000%. This company. Yeah. Go figure. That's what I'm kind of was thinking could happen to Soluna, but we'll see. We'll see what happens on this bad boy here. Like, yeah, maybe not. Who knows? One other thing, DTM is another one I've been kind of watching. I haven't brought it to the channel before, but I've been kind of watching it. Here, I missed this run up on it. Now I've got it charted because this is looking like a flag. If we can get above that 690, this thing could pop up to about 10. So I'm watching that real closely. You know, I came out and drew my fib, right? I went like fib and did this bad boy, and I'm like, golden pocket, waiting for that. It touched the top of the golden pocket, but I'm curious if it's going to come further. But if it comes and takes out this 687 first, well then, yeah, I'll be looking at that to the upside as well. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description, as well as the channel bio. Check out the channel memberships if you're interested in getting those real-time updates. Check out Capital Curiosities if you want something to just relax and be entertained by, and have a profitable day.